Hello and welcome to Jamie's Motion Graphics, episode 38. Today we're making this. All of this has been made in After Effects and all of this has been made from scratch. If you want to know how it's made, just keep watching and I will explain step by step how you can make it yourself. Okay, here we go. We are here in After Effects and we are going to just make a new composition because that's how we always start. It's going to be 1280 by... oh, hang on. Apparently I did something really random there in my last one. Well, I was experimenting. So yeah, anyway, 1280, 720, and we're going to start off with a text layer because as you might have noticed, it is all about text today. So we're going to, yeah, just take whatever. That's a terrible font. Let's take something that has a little more substance. Give me a moment. I guess we're going to go with this one. It's not the best one, but I'm sure you can find your own font. Yeah, I don't have well, something that actually shows me what the fonts look like, so it's kind of terrible like that. So we're going to make it white. I'm not going to do a line around because this one doesn't have a line around it. And what this is going to be our Luma Matte. So we're going to rename this to Luma Matte. And this is basically just our text. So we're going to add a new composition to our set here, and this one is going to be our design, I guess. So what we want here is we want this this Luma Matte to be used as a Luma Matte. Wow, you didn't see that coming, right? And what that means is we are going to add, hang on, let me select the composition, a new solid. And that solid is going to be, well, some color. It doesn't really matter what it is for now. Then we're going to drop comp 1 into this. And we're going to set this to Luma Matte. And then you can see, well, it's exactly the same text. Yeah, that's kind of the point. Wherever comp 1 in this case, so the Luma Matte is white, that's where this layer shines through or is fully visible, and every other color is going to be kind of, well, has some kind of opacity to it. The reason why I do it like this, so put this in a separate composition, because now I can edit this one without affecting this one. And I can here just set the color to something new. So if I set the color to red, then this will be red. There you go. I'm not going to, because it looks terrible. We're going to add the color later, and yeah, because of the way I'm planning to do this, this is actually going to work out just fine. So what we're going to do here is we're going to select the white solid. We're going to select or make a mask, and you can make any kind of mask you want. I'm going to make a vertical mask just because, well, I like that. And I'm going to duplicate this mask, lock the first one, and pick my selection tool, and then I'm going to take the left 2 points, drag them out, hold shift, and I'm going to make, well, basically the next slice. And then I'm going to duplicate the mask, lock the old one, take the left 2 points of that mask, drag them right. And you don't have to do the straight lines. It's all up to you. I'm in fact going to not do the straight lines here because it seems that we do have something going on here that, no, never mind. Never mind. We are going to do the straight lines here. I was like, I can actually cut off this part by making this like more of a triangle, but I'm going to leave that to you to experiment with that. It's fairly easy to understand what's happening. So we're going to just pick up the next slice and then the next slice, and I'm just duplicating the mask every time, locking the old mask so that I don't select both of the masks when I drag out this. And yeah, well, as I said, fairly easy to understand. Just grab the left 2 points, drag them out, and don't overlap on the next letter, obviously, because that will look terrible. So you can leave it here. You can also just continue on. I'm going to continue on, but then off screen, so I'll be back in a moment. Okay, and we're back. So what I made is just, well, you can see it, layer after layer after layer of these masks, and we're going to unlock the masks now because we do need to change them. And the thing is, what we now need to do is we need to make a layer for each of these masks. So we have 22 masks, which means 22 layers, and the layer has to be basically a combination of these two. So that's going to be, well, a lot of them. So let's see, that's 2, and then we can make 4, and we can make 8. Yeah, come on, you know you want to. 8, 16. I hope this is a top. It's not. Well, it doesn't matter. Hang on, 16. We wanted 22. 19, 20, 1, 2. There you go. So if we check now, oh, I can just leave them. It doesn't even matter. If we look here now, we have, if everything went well, okay, I apparently can't count at all. We did have 22, yeah, so we need 44 layers in the end. And there you go, 44 layers. I apparently miscounted, which is fine. Anyhow, so they all consist of a white solid and then a comp 1, which is, well, a Luma mat. So hang on, we're going to lock all of the comp 1s. I should have done that before. Oh no, couldn't have done that before copying. So yeah, you can do this in several other ways, but I prefer to do it this way because, well, the workflow is a little bit easier this way. Let's see. Let's say you can also make it in PaintShop. Sorry, PaintShop, in Photoshop. PaintShop Pro is also a program and that I regularly use. That's why PaintShop. But no, you can make it in Photoshop, which is perfectly legit. The thing is, if you make it there, then, or if I made it there, I couldn't say that everything was made in this program, which I like to do. I mean, I like to keep everything in this program. So what we're going to do is select all, Control A, and then hit the M for mask. And now, what we're going to do here is just select all the masks that are not mask 1 and delete them. Then go to the next one, and as you can see, it already opened up, and delete everything except for mask 2. And yeah, you can see where this is going. This one is going to keep mask 3 but have all the rest deleted. And yeah, well, I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so we're done. I have every single one in a separate layer now. And what we're going to do is now sequence them so that they actually look better. Well, they actually, it will actually make sense. We can also set these comp 1s, by the way, to shy, and then hide all the shy masks or layers. It's kind of a way to clear up your, well, your thingy here, so that it doesn't become too crowded. And yeah, I could have done that before. Well, this could have actually been done before I copied them, but yeah, I didn't think of it. It's not something that I normally use. So yeah, I'm just using it here for you to get a better view. And now you can hide them. Oh, they're all up here. Okay, it did work. Okay, it just doesn't scroll automatically, which is kind of weird. Anyhow, yeah, hitting U here to close all the layers, and now we have well, just 22 layers left. As you can see, they're number 246. So yeah, even though this is number 44, there are only 22 left. What we're going to do is we're going to make them do something. So let's, for example, all set them to. We can do it 3D and then rotate them in. We can make them come in from the middle and just scale in. That would actually be cute. I think I'm going to do that. You can choose whatever you want. I'm going to hit the S for scale. I'm going to go to ½ a second here. So yeah, page up, page down gets you to the right spot here. And then I'm going to go to, let's say, 1 second, something like that. So yeah, that means every layer comes in half a second. Now let's take a little bit longer. Let's go to 2 seconds here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Um, let's go to 2 seconds and set it there. So what we're doing here is we're setting all of the points to, well, exist over here, and now I'm going to edit these to actually be 0. Probably that's probably the best. And now let's see what it looks like. They will actually all scale from the middle, which is not entirely what I had in mind, but well, we can work with that. If you want them to scale from somewhere else or rotate around some other point, then yeah, you do need to fix that. Yeah, so you need to fix the anchor points for each of the layers, which is kind of a hassle here, but yeah, well, you can do it. I am going to just work with what I have here, and yeah, that's it. So what we now do is we now sequence them, which you can do very easily by just selecting all the layers, going to like, I don't know, let's say half a second. Then hitting the old right bracket, well, the right bracket that looks like this, like straight lines. It looks like half a box, basically. And then you can you select all your layers, you right click, you go to keyframe assistant, sequence layers, and you say, yeah, we of course turn this off, that would be stupid. You put it to something that's smaller than the one you set. So I set it to 15 frames, so I can do 5 frames overlap, which means that every layer is going to be moved by 15 frames minus 5 frames is 10 frames. So there you go, 10 frames, and then the next one comes in, and so on. Now we're not done yet, because obviously this is not what we wanted. We can now drag out the layers to reappear, and then what happens is, well, they will fly in one by one, and yeah, if that's the effect you want, then that is cool, because you just got it. I'm not really that satisfied with it, so I want half of it, so basically the second half, to appear at the same time as the first, or as the left side. So I basically want it to be symmetrical, which is kind of going to be messy because I do have to do all of this by hand now. But that's the price you pay for making good stuff. And I'm not sure where I am at the moment, so in the animation, so we'll see that in a moment. We can actually see it here pretty easily. So this is about halfway. This one still needs to, this one. Yeah, this is halfway. So let's set it up from here. It means that we're going to go to the last layer, and I made 10 things between them, so that means that the next one should be over here. And unfortunately, this is, as I said, going to be messy because of the way I kind of made it. And yeah, it's not a big deal. It's a fairly easy process. You just have to be patient a little bit. And then once you set up all the layers, it will look awesome. So the way it works now, it's left and right are going to come in simultaneously, and the middle is going to be coming in at the last moment, but it means that you see the animation, well, just better. It's just a more clear view of what's going on. So let's see, we're almost there. So apparently it's not the halfway point for the amount of stuff that I have, but it's almost there. Because I have different shaped layers, so different size layers, so apparently there are more layers on the right side than on the left side. But what it looks like now is this. It will fly in from the side, and as you can see, they will just come into place, well, as they go. If this is not the effect you want, so currently it's just displaying the layer underneath it, which is kind of not what I was hoping for. And there you have the entire animation. This is not the effect I was going for, but if that's what you want, then that's fine. Because as you can see here, it actually displays what's underneath it. So it's kind of messy that way. You can also animate your layer on the bottom to do something differently. Yeah, I wanted to have the different letter parts actually come in and take their place. But apparently this is not the way to do it. So I'm going to hit U. I'm going to delete all of the scale thingies, and I'm going to actually drag the layers to the left side. You do this by Alt and then the left bracket, same bracket, so the one that looks like this. And by doing so, you actually extend the layers where they normally don't exist, and you can see that because there's a little bit of a line here. But yeah, well, it doesn't matter, it just drags out the layers. That's all you need to remember. Oh, I do need to take care of one thing though, because I need to be in a good spot when I remove all these scale things, because otherwise I'm left with a messed up piece of letter, and I need to redo everything. So now I have the normal letters again, the things are still on there. So I guess we're going to do position then. And yes, this is how it sometimes goes. I kind of thought I could do something cool with this, but apparently that is not the case. I'm going to make it a little bit longer. I want it to last a little bit longer, so yeah, we're going to just do that. Position at 4 seconds has been locked, and now at half a second we are going to say, okay, the position is something else. I don't know if we can actually like do something cool here. I think we can just let them drop in from the top or something like that. That would be cool. Minus 360, let's say. Yeah, a little bit less. Yeah, going to the minus is always harder when you're dragging because you run into the side of the screen. But yeah, this looks fine. So what it currently looks like is this. It's just going to fall down and apparently not show us anything until we're actually there. Yeah, so that's not what I wanted once again. It's kind of messy this way. What I want is the letters to actually fall with it, and I guess I do need to have the... Yeah, I'm just going to set them to this and then unhide all the shy layers. This is so messy. Yeah, apparently I should have done that differently, but that's the way it is. I kind of have to work with it, so at least you're seeing different effects. You can do it like this and it will look fine, because it will now, at this moment, it will just rein in, or well, just put in different lines of the letters. And that will look cool. It's just not what I had in mind. If you want to do that, so if that's how you want to animate that, all you need to do is just drag out these white solids just like we did before, sequence them so that they fall at different moments, and then you can make something cool out of that. So it's good enough. And what I want, however, is something that grabs all of these comps and puts the position to the position of the guys, or of the guys that go with it. Oh, I can't do that with all of them at the same time, I guess. Okay, so these are going to be then pick whipped to the next one every time. Does that actually work? No, it doesn't actually work. Okay, that's kind of what I figured. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, you need position to link to position, obviously, and I didn't do that, so I got punished for it in the end. But yeah, I was wondering. So it's basically what you're doing here is you alt-click the position stopwatch, and then you drag the parenting thing to the next well, white solid. It's fairly easy to do. And what that does is it links the two. So it just says your position is going to be equal to that position. Oh, I missed. Yep. So yeah, it just looks at the white solid and says, well, your position is going to be equal to the white solid position. And since they were lined up before we started, it is going to be, well, it's going to be okay. So just continuing on here, we're at layer 20. And now we're magically at layer 44. So yeah, all of the things has been done. They're all just set to the position underneath it. And if everything goes well, now everything should just fall into place. And there you have it. Now you have the entire text coming in. So, and what we now want is we want to hide these shy layers again. I hope they're still selected. Yes, they are. We're going to just grab all of these once again. We're going to set it to like half a second. Once again, Alt right bracket. As I said, it's that one. So the bracket that's straight. Then we're going to select, well, with all layers selected, right click, keyframe assistance, sequence layers. We're going to set it to 5 because it's 15 minus 5. And yeah, well, this 5 can never be bigger than the old well, then what you left on the layers, basically. Because it's the amount of overlap, and you set the transition to none. So there is no transition, and now it looks like this, and this is what I wanted. So now they come in, and they basically rain into place. You can see why that would be a cool effect, I hope, because, well, it is. And if I made it a little bit bigger, it would look even more like it's raining in, or if I randomize the layers first, it would look more like it's actually raining in. But this is fine. I can, of course, also say, well, let's say here we want this this overlap to be more, right? We can also just do it like this. Hang on. Okay, so currently the layers are what? How long? Oh, it doesn't even. Yeah, that's not a good plan. Let's say we go to 2 seconds, and we do the same thing. Alt right brackets, right click, keyframe assistance, sequence layer, and then instead of this being only 10 frames, we're going to have an overlap of 5 frames, or let's say 15 frames. 15 frames while these things are 2 seconds, so now they're 1.5 seconds apart. That's a little bit too much, I just realized. So maybe 1 second apart. Let's see what that looks like. So when this one falls like that, yeah, the next one comes in. It's actually, I think, a bit better. So we can just drag it out. I don't know how far we need to drag it, but anyhow, what it now looks like is like this. Let me set this to a little less resolution so we can enjoy it a little bit faster. I don't know which one it actually takes, but so yeah, it falls into place, and as you can see, there's now a little bit more just room between them, and these lines are kind of an artifact because I have it set to quarter. I set this to full, the lines will disappear. There you go. So don't worry about them. So what it looks like now is it really rains in, and that's kind of what I'm looking for in this animation. So we're going to drag it out even more. So it is going to take quite a long time to actually form. So we have it set to 30 seconds, and it takes like, I don't know, 26. So it currently takes 26 seconds to form, which is obviously a little bit too much, but that's fine. We can work with that. We're going to go into a new composition. This is going to be our final design because, well, we're not done yet. First of all, we need a background, so let's start with that. And for those of you that actually have seen some of my videos, I do like the 4-color gradient background. And then let's set it to something that's gray. because, well, we want the letters to be colors, and we want the background to be kind of semi-dark. The darkness is all going to be fine, so currently it's kind of light, but we just want like a light accent here, and then maybe some dark in the some dark in the corners. I don't know, something like that. No, actually, that looks terrible. It's too symmetrical. I don't like symmetrical on these things. So, okay, the way this now works is if you put the opacity to less than 100, you will actually get, well, darker color because the background's black. And now we're going to go to our project file, grab our design. This is the raining letters thing. And as you can see, it does work. And we're going to colorize it, which you can do in several ways. I'm going to use tint here. Tint seems to be a good call. Maybe ramp as well. Hang on, can we put a ramp on this? I'm just wondering. Yes, we can. So yeah, we're going to put a black and white ramp on it, and then we're going to tint the black to, I don't know, something bluish. So it will actually, well, we can do that straight away here. Never mind. We don't need this. Just delete the tint effect and just go to this one. Let's make it blue. And then we're going to duplicate the design. Oh, no, hang on. We need one more thing. We need time. Time remap or time stretch. Time stretch is currently good enough. So the stretch factor here is just a number, and if I make that 50, it's going to be 50% of the length, which means it's twice as fast. But it also cuts off at 15 seconds, so keep that in mind. So currently it takes 13 seconds still to do this. So yeah, you can actually see it. I hit enter a little bit too quickly there. But if you set it to 25%, it will last 7 seconds. And if you set it to, yeah, well, even less, or yeah, if you set it to 200%, it will last 1 minute. You can see how that goes. The thing is, our animation is supposed to last for like, let's say, 10 seconds max. So we're going to set this to 25 because this is not the only one that we're going to do, because that's why we have a final design, to make something cool out of our design. We're going to duplicate the design part, and we're going to change the color, something completely different. I guess we can change the end color as well to like black. And as you can see, now it looks different, but we're going to offset them by a bit. Let's say 3 seconds. That sounds about right. Once again, page up if you want to tune that. And yeah, you can tune the layer thing here in several ways. I'm just going to drag it to its position. You can also do something like Control Alt and then with the mouse keys, or to do 5 frames. I think, yeah, I think it's Control Alt. I'm not actually sure. Control Shift. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's easy enough to do it by hand. I couldn't find it currently. Maybe it's just Alt. I don't know. So what it does is it reins in a second layer of them. And then, of course, yeah, why stop at 2? You know the deal. I never stop at 2. You should always overdo the effects, because that's what people like to see. People like to see these over-the-top effects that are just insanely, well, just, yeah, bright and nice and violent and things like that. So yeah, I'm going from light to darker to lighter, and obviously you can also just say, yeah, I don't want to wait too long with this third one. I want that to be very close together. Then make a fourth one. Set that to like 1 second or 2 seconds delay. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, maybe just add this color, I don't know, to purple. and it goes from purple to pink. We're going to have to set the ramp a little bit, because as you might have noticed, I do need to do that for the other one as well. As you might have noticed, the ramp starts way too high and it ends way too low. So if we want to have a better view of what's happening, we need to set that to the right values. Now it's becoming brighter and the bottom is becoming darker, because now the ramp runs from here to there. And the same for this one. I guess the blue one looks fine. The green one looks fine as well. Let's do the blue one as well. Now that we're busy on it anyway, you can of course set them to the exact values every time, but this is just way faster. So what it now looks like is this one rains in, then this one rains in later, this one comes in over there, and then this one comes straight afterwards, and it's going to paint on the final one. So yeah, if you're done at that point, so currently my animation lasts for 13.5 seconds. This is when the last letter comes in, or the last frame. You can of course just say, yeah, I currently have this, which is all good and such, but what if I wanted to change this to become faster? So I'm going to go to time, stretch, and I'm going to set this to 20%. That means that it's actually going to catch up with the blue one and run away from the other ones. So then this one, the green one, can be set to something quick as well. Time stretch, maybe even 15%, I don't know. And then this one is slow again, something like that. It could actually be really cool. I don't know, let's watch it on what it actually looks like. Okay, there we go. This is what it actually looks like now. So yeah, you can see the different speeds affect what it looks like, and yeah, the layer disappears, but that's quite alright. The lines in between it will disappear once I set it to full quality. So as you might have noticed, the things disappear, like right here. This one disappears. Here it's even more obvious. So there you go. And we need to fix that. So we're going to go to the last frame on our thing here. We're going to go to time, enable time remapping, and then we're going to go one frame into the future, set a second keyframe, and then just pick up that second keyframe and drag it out, and then drag out the layer. What this does is it freezes the last frame in place while keeping the rest still available. As you can see, it works because it's still available. And we're going to do that for every one of them. So go to the last frame. I guess that's over here. Time, enable time remapping. Go one frame into the future, set a keyframe, drag out the last keyframe to wherever, and then drag out the layer to wherever. After this point it will no longer exist, but until this point, as you can see, it still exists. Now it's the red one, and the next one is the green one. So I can't, yeah, this is the green one. It actually shows up, so that means that we finally arrived. Enable time remap, one frame into the future. Hang on. Something went wrong. And I don't know what it is. Oh, apparently I did it on the wrong frame, but that's cool. Just make a keyframe on, well, the second to last one. No, on the last one, and then, well, on the end. And as I said, drag the last keyframe out, so not the last one you made, but the last one. And it should work just fine. Here you can see it. The green one is coming in, so it's raining in. There you go. And then it still exists when the purple one comes around. So you can do it with the purple one as well. The purple one doesn't really need it because it's the end of the animation. You can just freeze frame the entire thing. But hey, while we're busy, might as well do it. Yeah, just make a new keyframe and then drag it out. drag out the keyframe, drag out the layer. There you go. So now the purple one is done. So yeah, what you basically do there is you remap the time between these two frames, and since they're next to each other, nothing happens anymore. So normally it's used to slow down things, and yeah, well. So if you're still not happy with it, with the timing, you can make a new composition, put this final design into that composition, and then adjust the time to, for example, go from 16 seconds to 10 seconds or something like that. I don't know where the last thing actually drops. It's actually before this, yeah. So it's at 13, let's say it's 13:15. And so let's just do that. Let's make it 10 seconds. So this is the final comp design. And it's going to be, let's say 10 seconds long, because that's what we wanted. 10:01, the one frame, because, well, that's how it works. I'm going to put my final design into this one. So grab your final design and just say enable time remapping. Okay, so we have our time remap on here now. Now we're going to find the end of the animation where we want the 10 seconds to be. And we can set that to here. We can also say, like, yeah, let's give a little bit of time to display the last logo. Then we're going to set a new keyframe. And we're going to drag that keyframe forward to 10 seconds. And if you want to make sure that you're in the right spot, go to 10 seconds. And then drag this this thing until the little thing here lights up. And if it lights up, that means the keyframe is on there. So all we need to do now is make our composition settings into 10:01. And there you go. Now we have the animation, and it actually will end right here. And then at 10 seconds, well, we have like 1.5 seconds of, actually 2 seconds of seeing the final logo. And yeah, you can, as I said in, well, previously, you can set this to exactly the end of the animation. And so you go to this frame and you set the keyframe here, and then you drag that out to 10 seconds. I can even do that now. If I wanted this to be longer, then I can just do it like this, and now it ends here. There you go. Yeah, I am on the right spot here, because the last one falls here and I set it a little bit after that, so that's cool. So now it's at 9 seconds, and now you have 1 second to look at the final result, which is all good. So you can align it just the way you want, and that's why you kind of just have to design it in a different sheet than where you, or composition, than where you actually make your final design and add all your colors and stuff like that. Because, well, that's the way it is. You want to have that that whole design process split up into different tiny groups, and then work out every group before you go on to the next one. And now I can still fully just do everything in the other layer, so I can adjust the timings here, I can adjust the time remap, so I can make some things faster or, well, slower, things like that. I can also adjust how I want my thing to come in. So if I want to let the sides rain in first, so that you get kind of the same pattern that I did with the first one, where some of them come in first. So the sides come in first, and then it rains towards the middle, and then the middle block is the last one. You can do that over here, and then in this one you can actually adjust your text. So if you want a different font, you can still do that. So let me show you here with the character thingy. If you just select your text here, you can still change the thing on it. So if I make it Times New Roman, it will just do it in Times New Roman, and that's all good. And that is why you want to split that up, because now I only have to click one button to change the entire thing. And well, that's just very strong, and that's what good design is all about. I'm going to set it to yet another one, and yeah, you can see that it all works perfectly. It still works exactly the same, and yeah, that's the strength of splitting up your design and knowing what you're trying to make as a workflow. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.